Hello and welcome. This is Father Jack, and tonight we are going back to Escape the Pacific. This stream is going to be a bit of a different. Um, I've done recordings or streams in the past about the fast sale and the quick sale, but they've been kind of disjointed. So I thought, right after thinking about it, then looking on the ATP's Discord, people, me and self included, originally were confused about what to do with them things. And it took me months, believe me, it took me months to figure out the quick sale and all that. You just ask the guys on their Discord how many questions I must have asked about this. So I thought, right, there's been a few more questions about it. So I thought, right, let's just do one full stream of leaving the first cluster and then going into the second cluster. So, use me big island. And the devs are watching this. How do I, if I load that profile up, this save is corrupted. How do I get that uncorrupted? I can't delete it. Not there anyway. But anyway, that's for a different subject. So we'll load this one up. These autosaves actually work now. I don't know. That's something else for me to rant about. I won't try to not do too much ranting tonight, honestly. But, so, I'm on my fine island. The note was picked up on an island, which I'll show you in a second, to say that the next cluster is in a north direction, which is tremendous. So if I bring my map up, or we can all see it, I got that note when I was on Island H. I've got the words NTC next to it, which stands for North to Cluster. It could have been on Island M, for example, and it could have been in the south direction, so it said STC, South to Cluster. You notice I have little R's on all the islands. That means I've been to them islands, I've raided them, I'm getting all the stuff I wanted off them. I'll put a little R next to it just to remind me not to go back. If I need to go back to one, I wouldn't put the R on. So we need to go. The glare on this bloody compass has bugged me for months, but anyway, we need to go in that direction. So I do not, when I go on a long journey, I don't have anything. Drop that. So I don't have a backpack, I don't have a side bag, I don't have a tool belt. There's been nothing, absolutely nothing. I just leave it all behind, because when you get the next cluster, there will be plenty of places to craft another toolbar, tool belt and backpack and all that sort of stuff. This still bugs me, devs. When you look at the game, it always brings up the sales up and get rid of that, press U and escape, it brings it back down. Anyway, so I've crudely built this raft. As you can tell, it's not lined up and all that sort of stuff. So my first chest, I have all my tools. Where's my bottle of water? Not that I need it. So I've got all my tools in this chest. Next chest, this is really important, is the food. When you're using the fast sale, etc., and the quick sale, your hunger rate and your thirst rate really gets used up quite a lot. It really, maybe it's done too much. Personally, I think it is, but you do need quite a bit of food for the hunger. And in my last crate is where I keep all my vitamin C stuff and some food with salt on, because you will definitely need them, especially when you're using the quick sale. Why is that going like that? These are so important because you can run out. I've done it many times. Even now, I've got probably the bare minimum of salted food and vitamin C food. Same as with the water. I've got that barrel's 92 in it, and that one's 54. Ideally, I'd rather have them both at 100 because you will drink quite a lot. Obviously, you need a bed, and that's about it really. But the food, I can't stress that enough. Especially the vitamin C stuff and the food with salt on. Get as much as you can on board, and same as with the water. I've seen some people have 3 barrels full of water. So say goodbye to this island and we'll travel. Says he's hot. Let's just go and cool him down for a sec. Quickest way to cool down is just get in the bloody water. Just stand around in the water for 5 minutes. So we'll sail in a northerly direction, and I'll explain what a lot of people. I must admit, I did this when quick sail first came out. As soon as I went sailing, I pressed the quick sail button, and it doesn't let you because you're in the cluster still. So we'll get to that. Get out of here. Right, so we'll say bye-bye to this island. I always try to sail in the shade. Right, so when you press Q for fast sail and you try and use one of the options, you can't because it is still in the cluster. Maybe it's the way the ATP team have done it, but personally, where it's got Q fast sail, I don't think that should be there until you're in open water, or the open world as they call it. That should only be activated when you're allowed to use it, because it will confuse people. It still confuses, it even sometimes confuses me. So press U. Let's go into reverse mode. I'm slinging the ship round. I've got this habit of pressing the right mouse button. I don't know why. So we roughly need to be in that direction somewhere. Get the map. That's the other thing that really gets to me as well. The glare. Just, so if I come out with that, so the glare on the compass, it's really hard to read it sometimes. So we need to go that way a bit. That. Yeah, let's go forward. I wish that wouldn't, you can't really pretty see that, do you? So if I do that, so go in the right direction. That's you. So here's the trick, folks. Depending on where the islands are in the cluster you're in, it can take up to between 15 and 30 minutes to sail out of that cluster. What I usually do, just bring the map up again. As I said, it was north to the next cluster. I basically went to Island Eye, because that's one that I should have went to J probably, but went Island Eye because that's the most northerly part. All them islands on that map could have been at the bottom left hand corner of the map, and says that note could have said you still need to sail north to get to this next cluster. So depending on where your islands are within the map, it can take between 15 and 20 minutes to get up that cluster. Slightly off limits there. So just go over a wee bit. It should be about right. There we go. So I lined up to, so press U. So to get, this is where people get confused as well. When you press and hold E, it sits your bum down. You're basically sitting down, and you can now press U. Maybe the wording is wrong for the same weight. You press U, that sticks into fast time. Sometimes it appears at the top right hand corner in red. In this case, it hasn't, but it is in fast time because you can tell that the raft's moving a lot faster. And why does it appear? I don't know. I have reported it as a bug. Why it appears, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So now we just have to sit and wait 15 minutes at the minimum to get out of this cluster. So one thing I will say, and I've said this to the developers before, when you're using fast, as I call it, fast time, you can't press J, or you can't press tab to come up to their stats. You have to keep an eye on the bottom left hand corner of the screen where it says I'm hungry, or I'm thirsty, or I'm tired, and all that sort of stuff. I wish you could just press the tab key and bring it up. I don't know how hard that is to code because I don't do the coding. Yes, I've dabbled with Unreal Engine, but that's just all done with blueprints, and I haven't really coded anything. I can't code, I'm too thick. So yes, it would be nice if you press the tab key and brought your stats up. Same as what would be really nice. See on that pillar there, or even the wall, have a little hook so you could hang your compass, or even hang it on the mast so you can see which direction you're going in. That would be really nice. That's just wishful thinking. So, but overall, it's 1946. So by just after 8 o'clock my time, we should be leaving this first cluster. And once we get there, a little message will pop up, but we'll talk about that when it happens. It's just a case of sitting and waiting now. I know there's one guy the other week was saying, because I thought that he knew how long it took to get out of that first cluster. After about 10 minutes, he got up and went and did something else, and he returned back to his machine. He was still sailing. Obviously, he wouldn't have seen the message, and he thought this is ridiculous, sailing 4 hours and not finding a cluster. But I've done that. I've paddled behind some. I've done that in the past as well. When I first started sailing these things, you do get a bit bored. I mean, that's why they reduced the quick sail to speed up. Because on average, when I sailed from cluster to cluster, it was taking about 3.5, 4 hours sometimes just to sail between clusters. It was ridiculously slow. that was before they introduced quick sale, and you had to use the fast time or the wait times as they've got it, before you hit another cluster. So when we get to the quick sale part, you can see how quick it is. It is exceptionally quick. The way I do it is, anyway, I just hope it works tonight. Knowing my luck, it'll not work, and I'll have a good rant. Oh, got to press that button. There we go, you've got some game sounds now. Wow, got to turn that button on anyway. So, the most important thing is make sure you have enough vitamin C food. Make sure you have enough salted food or cooked meat, and then put salt on it. But I find it hard to do that. I don't think you can actually do that on a raft, to be honest. I've never tried it on a raft. I don't think you can do it because the cooked meat or the cooked fish or the turtles would just fall off the raft. And the way the physics are with this game, it's not just this game, by the way. Any game that's made by Unity, the game engine, has a huge physics problem. Basically, Unity dumped a lot of games in the crapper because they went in a partnership or merged with a different company, and when that happened, they kind of cut off the physics side of Unity, and they basically told developers, look, this is what it's going to be like. You have to try and fix the problem yourself, etc., etc. So Unity dumped not just ATP. There's another game I play called Gold Rush the Game. That's made by Unity, and that has exactly the same problems with physics. So I know a lot of people whinge and complain about the physics, but it's not the game. It's actually Unity who the game's built on. So it's not their problem. It's not APT's fault. So yes, make sure you have enough vitamin C food. Make sure you have. That's when I cook my food. Before I cook it, I put salt on the fish and then cook it so I know it's already salted. And make sure you have enough water. Seriously thinking, do I have enough water? No, I should do. That'd be the bare minimum. So, because the actual sailing part, like this part, doesn't take a lot out of you resource-wise, like with food and water. It's the quick sail that does that. That's why I would love the tab kit workshop to bring the stats up, just to check. So they are not having that much of a Radu. Dodgy. I'll see your little post in Discord. Aye. But anyway. So this is a very basic raft, very built crude, and built it crudely. You can see it's not lined up properly, and that's not the game. That's the way I just quickly did it and threw it together. But hopefully in the next 10-15, let's say next 10 minutes or so, we should be out of this cluster. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all going well. If there's anybody watching, if you need to ask a question, you have to subscribe. Sadly, I have subscribers mode on only. Subscribers only mode on, simply because I was getting lots of bots in the channel, sometimes really nasty bots, usual sex bot, and sometimes a racial bot, homophobic bots and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I put subscribers mode only on. to stop people or stop bots joining my channel, basically. So even if you just subscribe just for this one video, then unsubscribe, that's fine. In case you ask any questions, I won't be able to say them until you type to the channel. That's the way it goes. A lot of streamers these days have the stream only, subscribers only mode on. They keep getting hit with the bots, and YouTube don't seem to be doing anything about it. Well, they're working on it or whatever. I don't really know. Quite a lot of YouTubers now have subscribers only mode on. Stop them from using a vapor machine thing. Is not the same as having a cigarette. Sorry. Anyway, yes, we're bobbing along quite nicely. In the shade, mind your own business. Just waiting to come up with this first cluster, and that's when the fun starts. Because there's a certain way I use a quick sale, because there is various options. You can sale for a day. What's the option? Sale for a day until stopped. That's two other options you can have. I always use until stopped, but I explain that when we get into it. There's a reason behind that. I will explain later. So hopefully excuse me, wow. I know I should have brought a bottle of water upstairs with us. So there's not a lot to see. I wish you could turn. I know you're sitting down, so you're sitting on your backside, but it should, even in real life, you sit on your backside, still do a 360. But with this you can't, you can only do a 180. There's me little whinge. I'm doing quite well on my whinge in front tonight. But, oh, come on, we should stay out this cluster. 5-8 minutes or so, I'll presume. Time to start really sailing. 1946. We've been sailing 10 minutes. I was saying there 5-6 minutes. So between 5-8 minutes. Been a good guess. And we should hopefully be up this first cluster and into what ATP called open world. They are, personally, I would say open water, not open world. That's just my word, and that's my interpretation. So to be honest, I really looked, well, not really looked, but I had a quick look at Paul Gamer's website today. And I noticed within the website, there was no capital letters, there was no full stops or punctuation marks or commas, etc. There's a couple of spelling mistakes or a couple of words. I'm sure for reason not spelt wrongly, but words in the wrong context. So really that website really needs to be proofread properly. Not by me, no. But it needs to be really looked at, and some words probably need to be changed. Same as the wiki that they've got, that needs to be proofread as well. Because certain words in there need to be changed. One of the guys from the ATP teams has said to me, look, we know the word sometimes is wrong, and that's probably our fault. So at least they'll admit to not mistakes, but things how it could be done differently, which is a good thing. A lot of developers or teams just say, no, that's the way I'm going to do it, like the lump it and sod off. But with ATP, that's one of their saving graces, I believe. It's they actually sit and listen to gamers, not like some other companies. But one thing I would say about the ATP team is I wish you would stop asking. I wish you would learn to walk. I wish you would learn to, see what's Old English saying? Learn to crawl before you can walk. I think they're jumping the gun quite a bit with asking people what would you like and all that sort of stuff. So I've been gaming, Christ, how long now? 30 years? 35? 35 years I've probably been doing games. And 30 years, and about 20 years have been online. So I do have, like a lot of gamers, the old time gamers anyway, we do have a lot of gaming knowledge. So yes, I think you're trying to crawl before you can. You're trying to walk before you can even crawl. I think you need to stop asking what people think too much. Yes, let them make their suggestions, and that's for the future. Yes, I know you're working on all your bugs. So the amount of bug reports I'd send in, basically send in a bug report, you press the escape key, and the bottom left, I think it's the second bottom option on the left hand side, you submit a bug report, no matter how small it is, just submit the bug report. I don't think the ATP team would complain. They probably had that same bug report sent in by dozens of people, but if you don't send bug reports in, any rational human being will think, oh yeah, it must be fixed. It must have sorted itself out. So I always send the bug reports in literally every time I play the game. I really said at least one bug report in just to keep me up to date. I think the team needs to just take a step back. Yes, it's always nice to ask what would you like, but when you start asking them kind of questions, people, especially younger gamers in this world, will think, yeah, we're going to get that, we're going to get that, I want it done now. That's the way young minds work. The young society of today's age, they want things instantaneously. So that people will sit and will wait. Know it's in the pipeline, so I'm not going to rush about it. I'm not going to kick off saying, oh, why is it not happening? We should be getting this, we should be getting that. But younger kids want things done instantly these days, in my head. So, the guys are doing a good job, trust me. It's, because I had this as my game of the year last year, and there's nothing on the market so far this year. It's off its perch. So I might get my gaming award twice. Not that I'm giving anything away, but no, it's a nice little game. It's my go-to game. It's my favourite game, to be honest. So we've now been selling for 46 for 14 minutes, 17 minutes, 18 minutes we've been selling for roughly. So it should be coming close to getting out this first cluster. Which I'm presuming fast time's working, even though it's not displayed in the top right. I'm hoping fast time's working. Otherwise, hold on. Let's do you for that. Stop that. Yeah, it is. Let's check the map. So I mean about the compass. Yep, still going in northerly direction. Well, yeah, I'll check me. So still the first cluster. Check your stats. Yep, they're all good. So press U. No, it still hasn't come up. It's really strange as that. So we'll keep ploughing on. This better bloody work tonight. I'll just go nuts if it doesn't. And yes, folks, the best sails to use is banana sails. They will increase the speed of the raft. Not this palm leaves. So always try and use banana leaves if you can. If not, just go with the palm leaves. There we go. Right, so exiting the cluster, the open ocean can be dangerous in searching for islands. Clusters can take up to a couple of long days. Advise blah blah blah. They have good amount of food and water for bed, a compass, a sextant, and synchronization. Right. Personally, I don't. Let me just come out of that. So if I go to my map now, go in the world. Is world map the correct word for that? Ocean map? I don't know. Personally, I don't use a sextant while I'm sailing. Yes, some people do it. Good on them. I find it quite hard to do, and it only marks your position in the world. So, if I was at noon now, for example, I did the sextant thing, put like a little circle on the map, which used to get me really confused because at that point in time I didn't realise that's the actual raft's position. I presumed it was where the next cluster was, so I went to sail to that circle, but no, it took me months and weeks to sort that out. So I should check the stats. Let's have a gulp of water. This is the next bit, which is let's eat some cheese or something. Lots of them. Right. What I usually do now is I always sail roughly another 5 minutes using that sail. Simply because I want to make sure that I'm far enough away from that first cluster. Oh, it's 7 minutes past 8 UK time, so 12 minutes past 8 I'll stop using the fast time, and then we'll start using a quick sail. I don't know why I just got built in my head that sometimes the game mechanics could be a bit off. So I always give it an extra 5 minutes just to doubly make sure I'm out the clutches of that first cluster. It's, I don't know what, I think it's because I've been doing between clusters for a while now. At the very beginning of it all, when I started doing this, I just got the impression that I wasn't far enough away from the first cluster to activate the quick sale. So that's why I started leaving like roughly about a 5 minute gap, just to make sure that I'm out of the clutches of that first cluster. Now it is, my kids, they know I stream roughly 8 o'clock most nights, yet they still try to ring us or message us knowing I'm bloody streaming. They expect a freaking answer because they're kids. It's a problem with the young generation these days. They want things done instantly. Anyway, that's my whinge. Right, another. Sorry folks, it's my bloody daughter. It's having problems with her freaking car. So we'll sail for that 2 minutes or so, and then we'll do the quick sale thing. Well, I told you, freaking popping out the bag after freaking. Stop texting this woman, Christ's sake, leave me alone. I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, we'll sail for that 2 minutes or so, and then we'll do the quick sale. And I just hope it works today, because sometimes it doesn't always work. I'm holding hands up, whether that's user error or the game error, I don't know. But before I used to do the quick sale, I would always just use this method to find a cluster, and it would take hours, literally 3.5, 4 hours, just sitting in front of your computer using this, thinking this is just absolutely crap, this is so boring, what do I do? And I did mouth off and whinge about it in their Discord for a while, and then they brought quick sale. I think I had already had quick sale in the planning anyway, and when they brought that out, it took me 4, maybe probably longer than that, 6, 7 months to work out how to use it properly. So let's stop that, stand up. Just to make sure I still go in the right direction. Yep, we are still going north. Right. Quick sale. Or fast sale as they call it. I call it quick sale, but it's called fast sale. Press Q, you get the options at the bottom. You get fast sale until sunrise, sunset for a day, until summer cancel. I've used the top 3, and they were killers on food and water. Then I started using the until stopped. One advantage the until stop does, once you get near a cluster or actually land in a new cluster, it will stop sailing. That's a huge advantage. If you pick like until sunrise or until sunset or for a day, it won't stop you. You basically just sail for that length of time, so you could be flying past a cluster that's close by, and it won't stop you. It'll just carry on until the sunset or the sunrise, or what was the other option for the day? I used them, and it was thinking, where the bloody hell's the clusters? And I couldn't find them. So always check your hunger and thirst and your vitamin C's and salt levels before you use a quick sale. So, or a fast sale, I call it quick sale. So when you click on until stopped, it will come up with this little animation of the raft sailing away. Always keep an eye on the bottom left hand corner of the screen, because by using until stopped, it will consume lots of food and water. Trust me, watch. Depending how close the next cluster is, this could take 30 seconds, could take 5 minutes. So let's just go for it. So there's a little animation, the raft bobbing along, all hunky-dory. And that's sailing away. And I'll keep doing this until it gets close to or inside a cluster. Always keep, there you go, you're thirsty. The advantage with until stop is you can stop at any time. So I usually stop it when it gets to I'm very thirsty. There we go, so stop that. So there you go, it's gone from 1 or 2 or where it was up to 74. Hunger's not too bad, but the thirst has jumped up so much. That's why I've got to make sure you have so much water on this thing. Let's take this down to 0, and then basically repeat the process until stopped. If you don't have enough food or drink on your raft, and you start using the quick sale, fast sale, you're knackered, you basically die. So there we go. It's come up to cluster too close. So we must be sailing near the cluster, so I'll bring the map up. Still the world map, but there's a cluster of islands somewhere around here. Well, now we just have to find them. So hunger's got to 67. Right, let's eat. Eat one of them. Bring that up. Eat one of them. That's all got the thingy. We'll have a loaf of bread. That. So hunger's reduced. Take another couple of gulps of water. So that's all hunky-dory. Right, because we're now, it's night time, what I would do, or I usually do, is I sleep until sunrise and then use the seagulls. The reason why I use the seagulls, when it's at sunrise, they are flying away from a cluster, out to sea to get food. When it's sunset, seagulls are flying towards a cluster. So because if this was still the daytime, I would sleep until sunset and look in the sky and see where the seagulls are. Because it's nighttime, I'll sleep until sunrise and watch out for the seagulls. I've been told, I asked the question once, does the raft actually sail because the sails are up when you sleep? And somebody said no, it stays in the same place. Well, that's true, and I don't know. So if we click sleep until sunrise, I'll get rid of all the tiredness at the same time. There we go. So now it's just a question of looking out for the seagulls. Sounds like they're coming from behind, right? So that means the cluster must be in that direction. One seagulls, where are you? Are you behind me or in front of me? It's hard to tell sometimes. Come on, where are you? There they are. So, because they're sunrise, they're flying away from a cluster. We need to turn the raft round. Press E, U to speed this up. So we need to turn this around because the cluster must be behind us somewhere. Come on, turn, quick. What I should have done was got my compass out and check which direction they were coming from. Come on, just turn around, will you, raft? So they're flying that way, so the cluster must be this way somewhere. Oh, just sit me bum down here. So, oh, where am I going? Oh, what are you doing, you idiot? It's going the wrong way and he's turning around still. So what direction's that? It's roughly south-eastish. So there's any more seals, because this is sunrise. Next. Flying from a cluster that come this way, so that cluster must be behind us. So you turn the boat round to go in the southeast direction. Yep. Because no point in trying to scan the horizon because I'm out the cluster now. Right. So we've either sailed past that cluster, so we need to go in that direction. Sit my bum down. Get the boat turned around real quick. Receive the weight. That would be nice to have the compass on there. So even I still crop it up. That's basically the way you do it. You use the quick sail, it will then find a new cluster or close to a cluster. You then sleep till either sunrise or sunset and just watch where the seagulls are coming from. So it's sunset, they are flying back towards the cluster. If it's sunrise, they are flying away from a cluster. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Have I done too much? Have I done too much? Done too much of me being in that direction. You've got to keep an eye on that, especially when you're using fast time. So let's straighten up just about here. Just keep an eye out for the seagulls, because there is quite a few flocks that fly in the morning. Oh, sorry. So there's some more coming towards me. So in that direction. So we're heading the right direction now, folks. So now it's just a question of we're heading in the right direction. Just that way. Let's use it till stopped again. There you go, cluster too close. So we just basically need to sail in this direction until we find the islands, which will take roughly about 10-15 minutes. Right, I'm just going to grab a coffee. I'll be right back, folks. machine. It makes Costa coffee type coffee. It's gorgeous. So still with the seagulls. They flip. So we need to go a bit right-ish. So every so often, now we're sailing towards that cluster, is come out the fast sail, check the maps, still in open water. So it's basically have to keep sailing until we find the cluster of islands. I've been sailing for, it's what, 8:30 now. We started sailing about 7:45, so we've been sailing roughly 45 minutes now. And that is a lot quicker than where it used to be, because it used to take hours. Well, that way a bit. Oh. It's you, wouldn't it? There we go. So now it's just a question of sailing till we hit that cluster. So every so often just check your map until it comes out the world map. And then it should say second cluster. Fingers crossed. Still in world. We're definitely going in the right direction. So that's all there is to it really, folks. Sorry, my voice is starting to go, getting old. So the key point is make sure you've got plenty food and water, especially when using the quick sail. As you see, the water was like at 1. Then when I was using the quick sail, it came up, I'm very thirsty quite quick, and it would shot up to 74. So it's always best to have as much water on board as you can. Don't forget you can't use a quick sail when you're in a cluster or near a cluster. So when you're sailing out from your first cluster, obviously you just have to use the what I call the fast sail. And so it depends where your islands are on the map. It can take between 15, 30 minutes or so before you get out that cluster. When you're sailing from your first cluster to your second, you will get that little pop-up which says you're now in the open water or open world. I prefer to say open water. You've left the first cluster and you're now in basically the Pacific somewhere. Here's the point. Once you've left your first cluster and you get that pop-up message and you're heading off to your second cluster, when you leave that second cluster to your third, you will never ever get that message again. You basically have to rely on your own intuition. But now you know roughly it takes between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on where your islands are on the map, to get out of a cluster. After sailing, say for 20 minutes, check your map, and it should say open world, not second cluster. If you're out of the second cluster, it will change to open world, and then you can use the quick sail after that. But you will never see that message ever again. I think some people think that they're waiting, well, not thinking, but they're waiting for that message to pop up. But once you've done it once, you will not get that message again. So we're still sailing the right directions because then seagulls are flying out to sea to go and feed. So every so often just check your map and see where you basically are. So we're still in open water. And I can't use quick sail because it has. Oh wow. I must have sailed past that cluster then. Oh bugger. So why didn't the world map change to second cluster? What's with Thursday at 75? Out 0, they're all good. You stopped again. So I must have sailed past that with that cluster. And there's the rain. He's thirsty already again. And he's hungry. There we go. Cluster too close. Right. Let's eat one of these. The fish. Take them back up. With a rough sea. Oh, that's hunky dory. Let's sail this direction for a bit. There we go. So that pops up when you're in the new cluster. I don't know if you've seen on the left. So if I press M, there you go, you're now in a new cluster. I don't know if you've seen on the left hand side of the screen. You may have to rewind it a bit, but it does pop up. So we were close. Basically, you just have to scan the horizon to see where the islands are. You see how that angle changes with the head. I've sent a few bug reports in about that. So now we just need to find an island. We'll wait till the storms cease, and then we'll get the map back out and scan the horizon. Come on, storm, just finish. So yes, it does take a bit of getting used to. As I say, what I did there was because I sailed past the cluster, basically just point the raft where the seagulls were sailing from, and then let me use the quick sail again, and it brought me closer to the cluster. Come on, Sky, just change back to normal so I can. What are you doing? Is it? Come on, just break so it's nice and sunny. There's the sun coming out. Because it's dark or grey. Look. You notice how the camera angle's like gone skew with. But anyway, get the map out. We're still in a new cluster. Scan the horizon to see if we can see any islands. Because you'll see a question mark just like there was in the first cluster. Nope, I can't see any. I don't know what it's a question I've never asked the guys. When you scan the horizon, how much below or above the horizon you can go. That's definitely no islands. So, do that, so me boom, that's you. Wish you could bring a map up when you're doing this. So yeah, it takes 2 or 3 attempts, but once you've got a crack once, and don't panic if you've sailed past the cluster. As long as you've got the raft pointing in the right direction, and you're far enough away from that cluster, you just press the Q for the fast sail, and it'll take you back and it'll stop you. If you use it until stopped, option I use. Once you're next to that cluster, and then you just use the fast sail to sail into that cluster, and as you see on the left hand side of the screen, it says challenge 1 completed, new cluster, and it's a question of finding a bloody island after that. Horizon's dead grey. Yeah. Getting old. So as you see, I'm constantly scanning the horizon, just see if I can see any islands visually. I would love it when I know the slot for a telescope, when that comes out, I don't know. I really wish it would hurry up and make it happen. So you could use a telescope to scan the horizon. Yeah, it'd be great. So that's all there is to it, really, folks. It took me, I'll hold my hands up, it took me good probably 7 months to work out all this fast sail and fast time and fast sail and all that sort of stuff. Possibly the terminology or the wording, what the guys use, is not correct in some ways. It probably is correct if you, once you get do it more often. But it's a good little system that works. You just need to get the hang of it. stop that, escape that, escape that. Get the map up. Go on Horizon, see if there's any question marks. So away from that bloody wheeling. Better. So it's hard to keep level with the freaking horizon. So I don't know what the distance is from the cross to when it discovers an island. Nope, I think there. Once we start, yep, they're all good. You put your bum down. Yeah, we'll sail a bit further. So if anybody's got any questions, leave them in the comments below. If not, there's a link to FTP's Discord channel in the description. You can always go to their Discord. I'm usually on there most of the time. Few other guys who are on there. Your question will be answered. Well, we can actually help you find the solution. Or it could be a dev-related problem, developer-related problem. But you will get a response, trust me. I've been on certain Discords for games and either don't answer you or answer you with such disdain and disgusting, like it's not the game, it's you're an idiot and all that sort of stuff. I've had some right arguments with freaking people on Discord channels, trust me. Wish they'd fix that. Map that up. Again. Because once you see a question mark, you can just head for that question mark, basically. You sit your bum down, press you to wait. I've got a fast sail, a fast time, whatever you want to call it. Just keep scanning the horizon as well. Just in case you see an island. So this basically is how you do it. Sailing from one cluster to another within an hour and 5 minutes. It used to be, trust me. I can't wait for the store. On one of their profiles, I'm building a base because I used to be a cluster hopper. I was sail between clusters and all that sort of stuff just for the hell of it. I wasn't really into building a base, couldn't be bothered. I was approaching sunset already. So on one of my profiles, I've started to build a base, a huge base on the big islands they introduced. And it's taken some time and effort, trust me. Yeah. But I do stream that every week. See, we need to go in that direction, folks. Because they're sailing back flying back to sunset because we must be approaching sunset. There we go. So the islands must be over this way somewhere. It's just, this is the longest bit actually now, is finding the bloody island. Or the cluster of islands, I should say. One way to check, double check that. If you go here, so there, so sunset. So they must be flying back to an island somewhere. So it was in this direction, wasn't it? So it's in... There's nothing coming up yet. Over that way. So now we just have to sail until we find a cluster. Sail until we find some islands. We started sailing at 7:45. It's now 7:50. So that's basically an hour and 5 minutes sail, basically. Yeah, we're going in the right direction. So that's why I use the until stop method. It will stop you when you're close to a cluster. It's even stopped me when it's actually been into a cluster, which surprised the hell out of me. Whether it was bugged or what, I don't know. But it usually says cluster too close. You then do what I did is, depending on the time of day, so either it's at night time, you sleep until sunset, listen out for the seagulls, because the seagulls fly away from a cluster in the morning, and at night they fly towards a cluster of islands to go back home, basically. So now it's a question of finding a friggin' island, which is the hard bit. No, it does get easier the more you do it, as Zach said to the bishop. Roughly still going the right direction. So you find big islands around, don't we? So yes, I'm building a base on the big island. The reason I'm doing that, I know there is going to be a storyline or a story mode come out to it at some point in the future. So I thought, right, let's build a base and see what happens with the storyline. Because I don't know what the storyline's going to be. Yes, I know there's been lots of suggestions, so I don't know what the guys have decided on. But I got into my head, I thought, right, I'll build a base, build a fence around it, on top of the hill, and I've got a door so you can get into it. I wish you could lock that door, but unfortunately not. So I'm going to build a lookout tower. So just in case any pirates do actually land on the island and try and take my stuff, whether or not you'll be able to defend it or attack the pirates, or I don't know. It all depends what the storyline's going to do. It'll be interesting to see when it comes out. I don't know when it's going to come out. But it will come out at some point. We should fix this camera angle though, folks. That's how it just like dips down. It's it's like he's lying on his side, like he was drinking rum. Come on, Evans. Hello, Mrs. Fusion. Hello from both of us and the brats. You don't have to talk about your husband like that. That's not nice. Yeah, I'm nearly done, Mrs. F. Yeah, I'm nearly done. About another 10-15 minutes or so, and I'll be wrapping this up. Come on, islands, where the bloody hell are you? That. Get the map up. Scan your horizon. Looking for a question mark. Bloody hell, where the fucking hell's these islands at? Nope, still not near one. Okay, the Mr. F's just finished work, I presume. Or just got home from work anyway. Oh, come on, islands. Now you're winding me up. This is the slowest bit, is leaving the cluster, and when you're in the new cluster, finding the bloody islands. They're the slowest parts for me now. Get very impatient. Because you can actually sail out. I've done this myself in the past. You might have. I've had actually sailed out of a cluster because I bypassed the islands completely because I was just basically scanning the horizon like that all the time. Because of where the islands were situated, I just sailed straight past them. And the next time I checked the map, it said world map. I went, what? I thought I was in the cluster. So I had to turn the freaking thing around and sail back into that cluster to find the freaking island. That's when I started using the map and the compass to scan the horizon every 5 minutes or so. Because it all depends where the islands are. The islands could be like in that direction, or they could be in that direction. And you could actually just sail right through the middle of them and not even know they're there. So that's why I always check now. Might have. I'll put a question in Discord Fusion. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Me and Fusion Distress folks, we usually do a farm sim on a Saturday evening. And Saturday, well, not Saturday, but because of Fusion's work commitments, he can't always join me every Saturday. So I just go off and got a huge farm, absolutely massive. And Fusion looks after all the food production and all the production sites he looks after. And he's got his own little farm in one part of the map, and I've got my farm in another part of the map. And slowly join them together. And now I'm just cutting down a load of timber, or a load of trees, to make planks of wood so we can get his furniture side of the operation going. But it's these friggin' islands, that, folks. He's a glorified, oh, you're shite to glorified friggin'. Without your knowledge of Farm Sim and some of their games you've taught me, I'd be friggin' lost. I'd be like going down the rabbit hole. There's no islands there. One down. So I'm trying to. This is a fusion creates. Wonderful. Yes, I do make a lot of mistakes and I do screw things up. But I'm not that experienced at Farm Sim. Yes, I can plough in more fields and harvest stuff. But 95% of the thinking is by Fusion Distress. He's quite a clever chap, trust me. Sims on the ranch sim, when I do my ranch sims, we have quite a big ranch as well, and I've basically put the blueprints down where I want stuff to be, and Fusion comes in and builds them properly because I cannot friggin' build. I'm absolutely so useless at it. Why is this? I press you, that's why you friggin'. You know what I mean? I just forget to do stuff. I've got to press you, that's wonder why we're friggin' sail very fast. You just can't reverse a tractor and a trailer. Correct, I'll hold my hands up. I cannot reverse anything with a fucking trailer. Whether that's on Farm Sim or Truck Simulator or European Truck Simulator, I just cannot reverse anything. I've got a trailer on the back of it. Right. Can you imagine me driving a freaking caravan and trying to reverse that freaking thing? That freaking video would go viral. So you can't press my buttons, Mrs. F. Just go make a cup of tea. Do told. Oh, where's these islands at? I don't want to be sailing out this freaking cluster. So I'll just go nuts. But anyway, if I do sail out the cluster, I think you've got the message of how to use this quick sail. So basically get enough food and water, because I know my quick sail was lasted what, a minute, 30 seconds or whatever it was before it got close to another cluster. Sometimes that could go on for like 5-10 minutes, and you've seen the way the water and the food went down rather quick. So my advice is get as much food and water on board. It was salted food and vitamin C food. It takes between 15 and 30 minutes to sail out of one cluster into the open water as they put it. Then use the quick sail, which can take, I don't know, 6 to 5 minutes sometimes, until it finds or gets close to another cluster. Once it's stopped, depending on the time of day, sleep until sunset and watch which way the seagulls are going, and just follow the seagulls to either sunset, they're flying back to a cluster, so you follow in that direction. And as you see when I did mine earlier, slept until sunrise, and the seagulls were flying away from the cluster. Just I made a mess of turning the boat round or the raft round, and I sailed out the cluster basically, away from the cluster. Oh, there's a question mark. Yeah, found one. Let's go that way. There's an island just there, folks. So get lined up for that. Where'd it go, where'd it go, where'd it go, where'd it go? So if I had to check at that point, I would have probably sailed past that, and I could have sailed past all of them. That island should be coming into sight quite quickly. So as I said before, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can catch me up on ATP's Discord channel, and I'll be quite happy to answer any questions about what we've done tonight or within the game in general. I don't know everything. Even now I still ask questions about certain things with ETP. We're coming to the night. There's the island there. Can you see it? Yeah. Let's head that bloody thing. That's closer. Yeah. I was dreading it in case it really went frigging night time. So there we go, folks. That's it. We found an island on the second cluster, or on another cluster. So now it's just a case of you do it all over again. As in the description, there's thousands. I can't remember how many thousands of clusters there is, but there is quite a few thousand. So it would be nice to see. I think most I've getting up to is about 6 or 7 clusters sailed to. It'd be nice to have a competition. Yes, I suggest to the developers, have a competition to see how many clusters you could find within the space of a month or 2 weeks or whatever. That'll be a good competition, I think, just to keep things interesting for now until the storyline comes out. So yeah, I might suggest that actually, because there is a few other suggestions. Like, yes, I would love to have an anchor for this boat, this raft. Yes, I would love to see a hook here, so you can put the compass on it, so you know which direction you're sailing in. That would be a great little suggestion. I would love to have a fishing pole with a hook, so you could catch fish when you're sailing about. Just silly little suggestions like that. But I'm glad we found the second cluster, and I'm glad we found the island on it. It hasn't taken that long. What? Hour and 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do this. Whereas before the quick seal was active, it used to take 3 or 4 hours. It was ridiculous. Because I made a couple of turning the boat round too fast or not getting it in the right direction. That added probably another 10 minutes onto it. So it's roughly taken about an hour, which is quite good. It's hugely improved to what it used to be. Come on, shoot sail. I should do, once I hit this island, I should do what the Pope used to do, is get off and have the animation to kiss the sand. No, it's all good. It's yes, this is proof that it works from the first cluster, I say second cluster, using the quick seal. So I have had comments like before in the past where, oh, you only showed certain bits, you've only done that bit, you haven't done that bit. So that's why I decided to do the full Monty Island over there. So that's why I decided to do it from start to end, just to show you that it does work. I wasn't talking out the arse. So yes, it all works. So I hope you've learned something. If you need anything clarifying, just hit me up in Discord. If you're one of these lurkers, please subscribe and like the video. It really helps your channel. Yeah, it's all, there's an island over there. It looks a bit scabby, that island, doesn't it? It's a bit bare. It's a sign, it looks quite lush. So yeah, to that point, when you win your first cluster and you landed on an island, the very first island, give you an arrow made up of stones to tell you where to go to. You don't get that in the second cluster. Trust me. It's basically you just have to figure it out for yourself from now on. Let's just slow this down a wee bit. There we go. A nice soft landing on this cluster. This island, I should say. There we go. There we go, folks. We are on a new island within a new cluster. So you know what to do from now on. You basically just go around, gather resources, get mark up all the question marks, exclamation marks, because it's a triangle thing, triangulation. So obviously you have to still do another island just to get all these islands identified and all that sort of malarkey. My character seems to move slowly these days. I don't know why. Maybe because I put a bit of weight on. Ooh, that shipwreck's really freaking close. Wow. You could practically freaking walk to that sort of thing. Wow, how close is that shipwreck? But anyway, that's it. It's still at a funny freaking angle. That's strange. Must be the sand. So that's it, folks. Thank you all for watching. Thanks, Mrs. Fusion, Mr. Fusion Distress. I always call him Mr. I don't know why. I've ordered on him. I think he's been freaking ducks. It's called respect, folks. Wow, he's like water on his side, isn't he? Wow. And as you can remember, I don't have any backpack, side bags, or tool belts. We just chop the palm tree down, get the palm freuds, and just create new ones. You don't need them when you're friggin' sailing, especially from cluster to cluster. But anyway, that's a bit of salt in this. That's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've learnt a wee bit. Let's crush that turtle. So save that. So that's us done. I'm going to give them tips so much abuse when I join the Video Voice channel on their Discord. Cheeky bastards. See, I can't reverse with the trailer. I'm brilliant reversing with the trailer, folks. Honestly, they're lying. Get out of there. To see what we're whinging for. Anyway, right, folks, that's me done. The next stream I'll do with Skate Pacific will be on my base island build. So I'll be done one day next week. I haven't decided which day. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I don't know what I'm streaming. Oh yes, I'm streaming Farm Simulator tomorrow night. So hopefully I'll catch you then. Bye for now.